5A D1 is got a new team at the top, and that is Dutch Fork. Ridgeview at number 2, Cane Bay at 3, Burns at 4, Ashley Ridge at 5, West Ashley at 6, Dorman at 7, Spartanburg at 8, Sumter at 9, and Carolina Forest at 10. And you know what? Something me and Smitty were talking about is I'm not so sure that Ridgeview might be actually the best team in this state. Ever since they took that loss against Westwood a couple weeks ago, they have just been on a tear in punishing teams on their schedule, and are going to be playing Westwood again for a revenge game on Tuesday, provided that the ice storm that is coming doesn't keep us lasting out of school and shutting down roadways until then, because there's a massive cold front coming in, even colder than the one that is coming in next Monday or Tuesday. So excited to see kind of what happens and shakes out in 5A Division I, Smitty.
Yeah, I am too. I'm fascinated by this. And I want to ask Andrew Baxley, and that's coming up in our next segment. He writes for prephoops.com. I'm really interested to see if Andrew is of the mind that, who it would take, say, Ridgeview or Dutch Fork in terms of the top team right now. And look, that's nothing against Dutch Fork. I have not seen the Foxes play. They very well beat number 1. But Ridgeview, as you pointed out, I get the sense, based on their level of talent and recent history, level of talent, a motivated Ridgeview team that is locked in is going to just be a bear for anybody to deal with. And I think if you follow athletics for long enough, you know that those rivalry games, you can get stung in those. The emotions can run too high. You can get tight. You don't play your best game. And the way boys basketball is set up in our state, it's, yes, seeding matters. You need those home games and everything, but it's who's playing the best as you close the season, just as it is in college basketball. Who's playing the best? And I just think Ridgeview's a scary club based on what I know, recent history, and the level of talent that they're bringing to the gym every night.
Yep. I was talking to a couple coaches this week, Smitty, and I asked, Ridgeview, are they the best team in the state? And they seem to think that now this isn't a basketball coach. I will with a grain of salt. And he hasn't seen every team play either, but had a hard time believing that the state champion doesn't come out of that Region 2, Burns, Dorman, Spartanburg, region.
Okay.
But from my standpoint, man, I just don't. I'm not discounting Ridgeview, and I'm keeping my eye on them going very far, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. I have not seen Dutch Fork yet, Smitty, but they're number 1 for a reason. So I can't wait to talk to Andrew about that here shortly in the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's just so much good basketball going on, and the games are carrying such intensity right now. Everywhere you look, you are reading or seeing, all of the region and playoff implications on every game that is coming up. It's just because the regions are so tight, and one loss early in region play can put even a good team into a precarious position, especially if it comes at home. That means that you've got to go on the road and beat a good team. So I'm interested in that. Obviously, like I've told you before, I have an extensive history in terms of covering things in the Spartanburg County area. And I'm looking there, Thomas Ryan, the head coach at Dorman, who has, I think, 5 state championships at Dorman. He may like where he is at number 7, almost disrespected a little bit, almost in a position where he's lurking in the shadows. And he knows he's a little bit like Tom Izzo in that, you anticipate them playing their best. They're just those coaches that know how to press buttons, and they're playing their best as the season comes to a close. They're never playing their best at the open of the year. They're always playing, much better into February than they are at the beginning of the year in December.
Yep. And Smitty, I'm also looking at 4A here. I mean, Gray Collegiate and North Augusta. No surprise to continue to see them at 1 and 2. Gray Collegiate, I believe, won the first game. They are in the same region. I can't remember what was the score differential, but it was less than 10 points if my memory is serving me right. So can't wait to talk to Andrew about how that rematch is going to come up here soon. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, North Augusta did beat Gray Collegiate last year in the playoffs. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gray Collegiate is another one of those teams that, under Dion Buffet, who's returned, he was took a year away and was coaching as an assistant at Georgia Southern, but has returned to Gray Collegiate. He's another one. He has a knack for getting his team to play well at the end of the season, but they're also very talented. At least if you look at recruitable talent, that's part of this. That's part of where we get. You're going to have great high school basketball players that are not recruited at a high level, but a lot of the information that is going to come out to us, have you seen so-and-so play? And, I was just bragging on Ridgeview and the level of talent that I know Gray Collegiate is loaded as well, but North Augusta, man, I'm just, everything I read about them is that they are locked in right now, that they are locked in and tough.
For the glory of a 4-quarter Friday.